In the previous video, we saw some data pre-processing techniques such as removing the stop words, converting the sentences into lowercase, etc. In this video, we will look at two very important concepts that we need to go ahead with this project, that is TF-IDF vectorization and polarity and subjectivity. So let's begin with term frequency inverse document frequency, or TF-IDF, which is a measure of the relative importance of a word within a document in context of multiple documents. In our case here, the multiple documents are the multiple reviews that we have collected from various sites, and we are using it as our data set. Now let us start with the term frequency part. Term frequency basically means a normalized frequency of a word in the document, and it can be found out by simply dividing the count of a particular word in a document by the total number of words that are present in the document. The second part of this TF-IDF is basically IDF, or inverse document frequency, which is a weighting of the uniqueness of the word across all the documents. So I hope we have understood this concept. Let us look at how to implement it with the help of a code. We need to import two modules for it. So we have imported two modules from the sklearn feature extraction.txt. The first one is count vectorizer and the second one is the TF-IDF transformer. Now let us see how we use these two modules in detail. So first we have used the count vectorizer, which is basically used to transform a given text into a vector based on its frequency in the text. Now here we have specified a few parameters. The analyzer is word. There is no preprocessor that we've used. Stop words are English. So basically this will use the common stop words that are present in English language while calculating the TF-IDF score. The max features are 6000 and the n-gram range is from 1 to 5. So here we are passing the processed sentence to the vectorizer that is stored in the variable data features. Next, we are using the TF-IDF transformer, which will systematically compute the word counts using the count vectorizer, and it will compute the inverse document frequency, or IDF, of the word, and then compute the TF-IDF score. Once this is done, we have this data mat, which is our document term matrix. The input is ready to be stored into a model. Now, once this is done, let us create the training and the test sets. Now here I want to split the data into a training set of 2500 sentences from the 3000 sentences, and the other 500 sentences will be stored as the test set, out of which we'll be taking 250 as the positive reviews and 250 as the negative reviews. So let us see how to implement that. So here we have our text index variable, which contains 250 indices from the negative reviews. Now we have specified y equal to 0 over here, which means that we are taking the indices 0 that have previously been stored in our list y for all the negative reviews. Similarly, we have taken 250 values from 250 indices from the positive reviews, which are indicated by y equal to 1. So this is our list of test index. Now we have defined the train index, which is basically the set of all the labels minus the set of test index that we have just defined. So this is all about TF-IDF vectorization and splitting the data into test and train. The next part is polarity and subjectivity. So the sentiment of words can vary based on where it is placed in a sentence. Now we use TextBlob, which is a module that allows us to take advantage of these labels and find all the words and phrases that it can assign polarity and subjectivity to, and in the end it will take the average of all of it together. We have sentiment labels, which means that each word in a corpus is labeled in terms of polarity and subjectivity, and a corpus's sentiment is the average of these. So let us look at the definition of polarity and subjectivity specifically. So polarity tells us how positive or how negative a word is. Here we have indicated the positivity by the index 1 and negativity by the index 0. Similarly, subjectivity tells us how opinionated a word is or a fact is. So let us look at how to impute polarity and subjectivity of a word. For this, we'll need to import the module TextBlob. So here we have polarity, which gives us the polarity of the word, and we have another variable sub, which gives us the subjectivity. Now we have two inbuilt functions of polarity and subjectivity that we have gotten from this module TextBlob. Now let us print a list for all the polarity and subjectivity values for our data set. So now here we have a list of polarity and subjectivity, which will calculate the polarity and subjectivity respectively for all the sentences in our list of processed sentences that we have defined earlier. Now let us print both these lists. So here we see the first 10 values of polarity and subjectivity printed in the form of a list. So this is all about TF-IDF vectorization and polarity and subjectivity. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. In the next video, we will actually use logistic regression to train our model and to predict whether a review is positive or negative. Thank you for